There's not a faint chance in hell that this is funny. And when you see those flat, corny, late-night jokes, those are so cringy. There's a warm-up guy. And generally the warm-up guy's a failed comedian. What they're doing is just like reading off of a teleprompter. Colbert, there's Jimmy Kimmel, there's Fallon. There's literal applause signs that flash to tell you when to applaud. They're like, okay, explain to the people. Okay, when Jimmy comes out, I want a big round of applause. Let's practice this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Fallon. Yeah! And everybody
practice it.
Yes. They'll train the audience. The banter was fake. Their dialogue back and forth was scripted. So they were saying, so Andy, I understand you got married. And so they're reading it, and I'm watching it.
Yeah, you heard that right. Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly didn't just accidentally roast Jimmy Fallon. They choreographed it, a masterclass in sarcasm and precision takedowns. One moment, Fallon's giggling his way through another limp monologue. Next, Rogan's tearing into his public persona like it's a lab experiment, while Kelly cuts through the fake laughs like a hot knife through bloated ratings. So what did they expose? Enough to leave Fallon blinking like he lost his cue cards and his cool. This wasn't just a roast, it was an unmasking. And trust me, it's got layers.
Jimmy Fallon, because having worked at NBC, I understand people saying it's a toxic place to work. I do, trust me. However, it's rare to see somebody like Jimmy Fallon, who's supposed to be everybody's favorite late night guy, though not according to the ratings, come under this kind of scrutiny, and the controversy is getting bad. Now, I will tell you, he's not the worst. The Daily Show.
You picture this, the Titanic is going down. People are screaming, chaos everywhere, and in the corner? Jimmy Fallon, giggling through a game of charades with Leonardo DiCaprio. That's the energy he brings to late night. The world's on fire, scandals exploding, democracy stumbling around like a drunk flamingo on ice, and Jimmy? He's doing another musical sketch in a blonde wig, grinning like a third grader who just discovered glue sticks. It's not comedy. It's crisis denial with a house band. And finally, Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly have stepped onto the deck, snatched the kazoo from his hands, and flung it straight into the icy waters of public opinion.
Nobody's going to care anymore. It's like you're seeing it take place with late night television. Nobody gives a fuck about it anymore.
I know.
And it's slowly, you have a bad business model and you're not adapting.
Yeah, the creativity's gone for late night comedy, right? Like that's not really a thing anymore.
Jimmy Fallon doing a song about different variants of COVID. But this one is so strange. It's like, what did they him up with to get him to agree to do it?
Let's be honest, Jimmy Fallon hasn't interviewed anyone since Obama had black hair. He doesn't ask questions, he reads greeting cards out loud while making sounds only dogs can hear. Every time a scandal-drenched celebrity flops onto his couch, Jimmy's biggest dilemma is whether they want to play puppy pong or guess which sushi roll is Play-Doh. Rogan saw this and laughed so hard he nearly slipped into another dimension. Megyn Kelly? She didn't laugh, she showed up with a flamethrower. And not a moment too soon. Fallon's been slowly transforming into an animatronic theme park host, plastic smile, pre-programmed giggle, and the intellectual weight of a pool noodle. He's not hosting a show anymore. He's hosting a safe space for publicists, a rehab clinic for reputations, a celebrity witness protection program where nothing real is said, and no one is ever challenged.
And the reporting out of Rolling Stone is, I'm conflicted, I'm going to be honest. Because kids today, they're so dramatic, Jesse. They left due to their mental health. They were fired. Rolling Stone reached out to 80 current and former staffers. Not a single one had positive things to say about working on The Tonight Show or for Jimmy. NBC, in defending the story, did not defend Fallon. They just said, we're incredibly proud of The Tonight.
Rogan zeroed in on Fallon's true superpower, turning nuclear-level controversy into something that feels like a lukewarm cup of chamomile tea. Jimmy could have a war criminal on the couch and still find a way to segue into a segment called Who Wore It Better? Dictator Edition. The only thing he interrogates is whether Chris Hemsworth can balance a pancake on his elbow. Riveting stuff. Meanwhile, Megyn Kelly's tolerance for this kind of cotton candy cowardice hovers somewhere between 0 and I'd rather gargle glass. She said what everyone with a working frontal lobe has known for years, Fallon's not hosting a show, he's running a PR rehab spa. Mood lighting, zero accountability, and a no-pressure vibe where reputations go to quietly recover. Said something awful? Done something worse? Got a streaming flop to promote? Fallon's couch is your sanctuary. Just bring your smile, and leave your spine at the door. And then there's the laugh. That infamous Fallon laugh, part dolphin, part glitching Roomba, bursts out whether the guest cracks a joke or confesses to tax fraud. He's like a human laugh track with separation anxiety. 3 seconds of silence, and he might spontaneously combust. Now compare that to Rogan. On his show, guests have to show up with facts, opinions, and the ability to survive a conversation that doesn't come with cue cards. They bring arguments, citations, even nuance. On Fallon? They bring a cute dog story and the willingness to eat mystery pudding from a hat. Fallon's idea of hard-hitting journalism? Asking Billie Eilish what her favorite cereal is. This isn't late night. It's kindergarten show and tell, with better lighting.
Paragraph. Reporting things like having nightmares related to work, in a constant state of fear, being put on anti-anxiety medication, hair thinning, weakened nail beds, going to therapy. Some claim they had suicidal ideation as a result of the working environment. They reported, I'm like, what the hell did Jimmy Fallon do? What did he do? I read the next paragraph, it says, they reported Jimmy snapping at people. He snapped at people? What do you mean? That caused suicidal...
Megyn wasn't having it. She didn't critique Fallon, she eviscerated him. This beige buffet of fake fun and performative neutrality? She called it out for what it is, not charm. Not unity. Cowardice and a side part. Fallon's refusal to take a stance isn't noble, it's fear, dressed up in a goofy grin approved by a dozen focus groups. He's not trying to bring people together. He's trying to keep his sponsors comfortable. Let's be clear, Fallon's brand is spinelessness wrapped in sparkles. He doesn't challenge power, he invites it over for board games and hopes it'll play Twister. When the media was supposed to hold up a mirror, Fallon held up a Snapchat filter. He's the anti-thought leader, the king of candy-coated nothing. A man so obsessed with staying light, even helium looks grounded next to him. Rogan nailed it, Fallon is terrified of losing approval. That's why he never pushes, never questions, and never risks. He treats public discourse like a magic trick, distract, deflect, disappear, and maybe no one will notice the emperor, or the guest, has no clothes. Fallon's real talent? Making the grotesque seem adorable. The corrupt? Quirky. The dangerous? Just misunderstood and in need of a hug. Remember when the world was in political freefall? Fallon's grand contribution was slow jamming the news, like a man trying to flirt with democracy while juggling rubber chickens. Actual journalists were chasing down truth. Fallon was chasing the rock with a Nerf gun. He's what happens when comfort food becomes a personality. And now, finally, people are calling it what it is, empty, safe, and actively unhelpful.
I want to be a fly on the wall in that meeting. Where they go, okay, Jimmy, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna be singing about all the different variants, and it's like, here's a song, and you're gonna be dancing and saying, he's like, okay.
Might be the best. It's XBB.1.5. Another brand of COVID-19 has arrived. It's a new strain, but it isn't the same. Sounds more like Elon Musk's kid's name. It's XBB.1.5. UB40 who sings red wine. Put on your mask when you're inside a facility. It could be a robot from a Star Wars trilogy. It's
God.
Megyn wasn't having it. She didn't critique Fallon, she eviscerated him. This beige buffet of fake fun and performative neutrality? She called it out for what it is, not charm. Not unity. Cowardice and a side part. Fallon's refusal to take a stance isn't noble, it's fear, dressed up in a goofy grin approved by a dozen focus groups. He's not trying to bring people together. He's trying to keep his sponsors comfortable. Let's be clear, Fallon's brand is spinelessness wrapped in sparkles. He doesn't challenge power, he invites it over for board games and hopes it'll play Twister. When the media was supposed to hold up a mirror, Fallon held up a Snapchat filter. He's the anti-thought leader, the king of candy-coated nothing. A man so obsessed with staying light, even helium looks grounded next to him. Rogan nailed it, Fallon is terrified of losing approval. That's why he never pushes, never questions, and never risks. He treats public discourse like a magic trick: distract, deflect, disappear, and maybe no one will notice the emperor, or the guest, has no clothes. Fallon's real talent? Making the grotesque seem adorable. The corrupt? Quirky. The dangerous? Just misunderstood and in need of a hug. Remember when the world was in political freefall? Fallon's grand contribution was slow jamming the news, like a man trying to flirt with democracy while juggling rubber chickens. Actual journalists were chasing down truth. Fallon was chasing the rock with a Nerf gun. He's what happens when comfort food becomes a personality. And now, finally, people are calling it what it is: empty, safe, and actively unhelpful.
One employee said Fallon would write personal insults to staffers, as opposed to constructive criticisms, such as, "Are you okay? Seriously, do you need help?" He's laughing. And, "Ugh, lame. What's going on with you? You've outdone yourself." The horror, Jesse.
Megyn, see, this is what I struggle with too. And are we dealing with somebody who's an actual jerk, or are we dealing with this new...
Meanwhile, Rogan's out here interviewing neuroscientists, war veterans, whistleblowers, comedians, and philosophers. Fallon? He's chatting with a guy who taught his cat to skateboard and asking Dua Lipa if she likes pizza. This isn't a competition, it's an intervention. Megyn Kelly pointed out what everyone else is starting to realize: Fallon's legacy won't be bold or brave, it'll be a cautionary tale. Not because he pushed too far, but because he never pushed at all. In a world begging for clarity, conviction, and candor, Jimmy Fallon chose to be a walking gif, vaguely funny, briefly entertaining, and instantly forgettable. And yet, he still holds a late-night chair once occupied by legends, hosts who said something, who took risks, who got political, weird, or even angry. Fallon just got safe. He's the rental tuxedo of television, perfectly fitted, completely impersonal, and forgotten the moment you exit the room. Rogan and Kelly aren't anti-comedy, they're anti-cowardice. And Fallon's brand of toothless giggles wrapped in branded synergy is exactly what they're warning against. This isn't about left or right, it's about real or fake. Rogan's platform is messy, unpredictable, even controversial, but it's alive. Fallon's? It's shrink-wrapped mediocrity with commercial breaks. And the most tragic part? He didn't have to become this. Fallon had talent once. Back in the Weekend Update days, there was a glimmer, a little edge, a spark of mischief, a sense that something real could break through. But then came the sponsors. The brands. The pressure to please everyone. And now? Fallon is the host formerly known as Interesting.
Serious questions about whether any of this is true. I mean, in every job I've ever worked, I've had people who would jump through brick walls for me, and I can be a tough boss. I'm not an asshole, but I'll say, like, that was a shitty packet. Like, we need to do better. That was not okay. And the team, my team loves me and I love my team because we are all about putting out great work product. And I'm quick to compliment too. Like, what did he say? He basically said, "Are you okay? Seriously, do you need help?" That's causing people to lose their hair? People need to toughen up. Your workplace is not your...
Rogan and Kelly didn't dismantle Fallon out of spite. They did it like a demolition crew clearing out a rotting amusement park. Not to burn it down, but to make room for something better. Something that doesn't flinch at hard questions. Something that doesn't treat truth like a hot potato. Something that doesn't end every crisis with a kazoo solo and a dance-off with Cardi B. As Fallon stumbles through another round of fake laughter and celebrity backpats, just know, the roast has been served. Not with malice, but with surgical precision. Because someone had to hold up a mirror, and someone had to shatter it. Rogan brought the hammer. Kelly brought the heat. And Fallon? He brought a banana costume and a joke about Taylor Swift's cat. Late night has officially left the building. And all that's left on stage is Jimmy, still giggling into the void. Here's the kicker, Fallon isn't just irrelevant, he's allergic to relevance. Allergic to tension. Allergic to truth. Allergic to anything that doesn't come dipped in marshmallow fluff and served with a wink. Put him in a room with a political bombshell, a climate scientist, and a civil rights icon, and he'll still find a way to turn it into a lip-sync battle with SpongeBob impressions. And the worst part? That's not an accident. That's the plan.
He's not the worst. The Daily Show has the worst ratings. They only have 366,000 people watching that show. During the Jon Stewart years, it was over 2 million. Now it's down to 300,000. Seth Meyers, absolutely dreadful. He doesn't even have 1 million. 778,000. I mean, in network television, this is, you don't have to pay for it. It's there when you turn on your TV. You plug it in. That's a dreadful number. Greg Gutfeld on cable, which you do have to pay for, it has more than double the numbers of Seth Meyers. Jimmy Kimmel, 1.5 million, averaging. Also equally horrible. And then there's The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, who, back when I was there, 2017-18, he was averaging 2.3 million a night. Now he's down to 1.3 million, Jesse. And he cannot afford the "you are toxic" controversy because he's also pulling in, reportedly, over $15 million a year. So you got all that money for 1.5 million in audience, which is a nothing. I mean, the middle of the day on Fox News gets that.
This isn't accidental fluff, it's manufactured avoidance. Fallon's entire show is engineered to be utterly forgettable. Not controversial. Not meaningful. Just bland. It's like a TV show designed by a panel of HR reps who all voted inoffensive beige as their favorite color. Meanwhile, the world's on fire. But Fallon? He's still handing out s'mores and inviting guests to play egg Russian roulette, dodging every uncomfortable truth like it's coated in radioactive slime. There's no bite. No sting. No satire. Just the gentle hum of mediocrity, wrapped in fake enthusiasm and applause signs. Joe Rogan noticed what's missing. Not just journalism. Not just a challenge. But humanity. Fallon doesn't connect, he performs. He doesn't respond to culture, he tap dances around it with jazz hands and jokes filtered through 10 layers of branding consultants. Megyn Kelly's takedown wasn't a critique. It was a cultural autopsy. She peeled away the shiny packaging and exposed the void underneath, a vacuum where courage and originality should have been. Fallon built an empire on staying neutral. But when neutrality becomes silence in the face of garbage, it becomes complicity. You can almost hear his team rehearsing backstage, make sure the guest feels safe. Avoid anything too real. Keep it light. Keep it goofy. And whatever you do, don't show a spine. That strategy worked, until it didn't. Now viewers aren't angry. They're just bored to death. Because Fallon isn't doing anything. He's just there, like a decorative pillow on a burning couch. If this roast by Rogan and Kelly did one thing, it's this: they exposed the truth. That being liked by everyone is the fastest way to be remembered by no one. Fallon tried so hard not to offend, he forgot how to matter. He had every tool, a primetime spot, a legacy, a platform. And he traded it all for a nightly routine of nervous laughter and viral skits that age faster than day-old avocado toast. This isn't just a takedown, it's a reminder. Comedy can entertain and challenge. It can mock power, question systems, and punch upward. Fallon chose none of that. He chose to be the court jester juggling rubber chickens while Rome collapsed behind him. Rogan and Kelly just pulled back the curtain.